This is a standalone short story called Slow Horse. It's in a similar vein to 2015's Get Stupid, which was a noir crime comedy novella. Jimmy's got a racehorse. Tommy knows a man. Lizzie's got a wedge. Jimmy's got a plan. That thing sucks money right out of the wallet and craps it on the stable floor. Jimmy's tried everything, techniques and so forth, running on sand, limb massage, muscle manipulation, steroids. There ain't a damn thing Jimmy won't do for that horse. I hadn't been planning to get mixed up in the thing. I wasn't looking for anything to do on the team. Jimmy calls it a syndicate. My understanding is that since Jimmy and Lizzie provide the sugar, they are the start and end of the whole thing. Everyone else, hangers on, looking for a golden shiny shadow to bask in. I wasn't looking for shiny shadows or golden fleeces or miraculous flaming sunsets. All I wanted was to be left alone. One minute, you're pulling on a cold beer thinking about the small things, and the next moment, you're in a trailer with a restless racehorse, strong enough and big enough to kill you if it decides it wants to. Just stay calm. That's right, we'll be fine. What the hell are you supposed to say to a blindfolded nag in a silver box? When we get to the track, I'm taken a little on the blind side by the sheer volume of traffic. I mean, there are people everywhere. Stand still long enough, and money will fall from your hands, fly from your pockets. This place is a cash vacuum, and it makes me nervous. Watching the high rollers gets battle-inducing after a while, so I stroll around trying to look unattached and disinterested, trying to avoid involvement in anything. I swerve a couple of conversations, dodge an attempt to debate odds. I'm doing well when I find the hospitality tent. The atmosphere in there is schizophrenic. Those at home are doing well, drinking, talking, laughing. Those on the edges, like me, it's the hostility tent. And when I feel hostile, I get a twitching in my fist that won't lay down until I land them on someone. That was another reason I didn't want to be here. You got any interest in this next race? I turn to the voice and take in the scene in seconds. This character is a wannabe. He's doing his best to project. He wants to be wealthy, confident. His skittishness around the eyes suggests otherwise. I don't got an interest in anything. What do you do? Do? I say, looking for an escape hatch and hoping this won't end with his face torn off. Yeah, do. What do you do? For a living. I'm between jobs. He has no sensitivity to the conditions. Just wants to be seen yakking it up with someone. Anyone. That way, people might think he is connected. That I sought him out and not the other way around. I know the form. Never been to a race before, but I've seen plenty of this slime manoeuvring. Excuse me. What do you do when you're not between jobs? I hurt people. I dig in on the word hurt and twist it sharply, hoping that he catches a vibe. He seems startled for a second or two, and then plows on. I'm suddenly homesick for Jimmy and Lizzie. Tommy can kiss my ass. When he's finished telling me about his building contracts and his workforce and what a great kind of boss he is and how he may be able to help me, no promises, of course, he gets back to the horses. It must be pretty exciting owning a racehorse, you know? What's exciting about it? I've got a dog. He'll do. A racing dog? No, a barking dog. I'm starting to think it's working. He's losing interest. His eyes are dancing around like twitching reeds in the Everglades when a storm comes up. He ain't wanting any part of me. I'm thinking he must be very pleased with himself for adding the no promises proviso onto the job offer. Guessing that about him is probably the only bet I'm likely to win today. I found that telling the truth with people like him seems to work better than trying to avoid the facts. Telling him I hurt people, it's not much of a gamble. The under and over odds on it being a mistake to make the admission are slim. He won't think I'm serious. If he does think I'm serious, he won't expect it, and the words will make him retreat into the crowd and spend the day hiding from me. As it happens, I haven't been entirely honest. I kill people, is more like. And it costs a pow if you need me to pull the trigger. If you want me, that is. It's not always a trigger. You sleep like a king in this job. One of those medieval guys that worries about having the head cut off by a cousin all the time. In this job, it's loose connections and mouths. They get you electrocuted, and I'm not even trying to be cute. I find Jimmy by the grandstand wearing binoculars like a real owner. I'm warmed up on a couple of beers and a whiskey chaser, so I'm starting to thaw out and relax a little. How's the horse? The horse is great. Where'd you get to? Oh, here and there, looking around, watching rich people. Jimmy smiles and his shoulders move slightly. He's wearing a tuxedo at the racetrack. It's his thing, his image or trademark, gimmick, whatever you want to call it. I can't decide if it's great or just makes him look like a shit. You're not exactly on the breadline yourself, Riley. What do you know? Jimmy leaves it and scratches the end of his brogue across the ground in front of him. He just makes vague, semicircle circles with the tip of the sole. I wonder what it says about his state of mind. Maybe he's just bored. Or maybe he's just antsy waiting for the start of the race. I wonder if the mob has him tagged for a share if he wins. It ain't the heyday, but it's still New Jersey. And money smells as good in 66 as it must have done in 36. Horses mean money. Money means greed. Greed brings complications. When you have money, greed, and complications, people get killed. That brings the whole show back around to me, though I have no real connection to the mob, loose or otherwise. I'm in the hole pretty bad, Riley. Liz has been good for the money so far, but she gives much more. Ralph's gonna suspect something. So, wish you want more, Lizzie or the money? Yeah, sort of like things the way they are. Lizzie and the money. Sure, why not? It's the eternal problem. Faced with a choice, men want the whole thing and usually end up with nothing. Doesn't have to be that way. See what I mean? I didn't want to come here today. I didn't want to walk around the paddock dirtying my shoes. I didn't want to hang around the greased up money monkeys so slimy they drown on the spot. I didn't want to know about Jimmy's problems or Lizzie's finances, and I had no real deep longing to starch Ralph. Ralph's what they call an industrialist. Made his money from oil refinery plants in Jersey. I've got no bones with Ralph. Trouble is, Jimmy got a bone for Lizzie, which means Ralph's position has always been delicate. Jimmy gets bored with Lizzie, no problem. Lizzie gets bored with Jimmy, no problem. Thing is, these people and how they operate, the sides forever change. Jimmy thinks I'm his friend. If, for instance, Lizzie gets bored with Jimmy, but Jimmy has problems accepting it, given the money that her old man has, and what she would stand to lose if he found out about the affair, Lizzie could just as easily talk to me. She talks to me. My friendship means nothing to him. It's all about who can pay, baby. On balance, Ralph is probably the easiest target for me. I'm not above killing women, but I wouldn't thrill to kill Lizzie. Be ashamed to waste her in her prime. So now here I am, back in the horse box with the horses that didn't finish. I'm sat on a shelf, sort of near the top of the box. I don't know if all the boxes are the same way, but it's uncomfortable, and I consider shooting Tommy, just for laughs. We rock and roll through the falling darkness, and I wonder why we had to sit around so long after the race, schmoozing with the dead legs and lawyers. I dealt with the situation by getting ramped up on a couple of specials I had in my pocket and a few beers. I don't mix that shit up religiously. When you do, you see angels and Satan and the whole mouth of the river Styx yawning open to receive you. That's no way to spend a Saturday afternoon. I do just enough to take the wood out of the people around me and make them seem human. Riley, you're okay in the horse box again? And that was me. Pills kicking in, beer softening opinions, so here I am. I'd feel sorry for the horse. The stupid thing spends half its life in the crate, the other half failing to meet obligations and expectations. If things don't look up for the horse soon, I can see a deal being made with one of Ralph's buddies over at a canning plant. The darkness, coming down like it does, is the start of things getting a little weird. I'm floating in a pool of narcotic half-light, altered perception, and although I'm familiar with the mechanics of altered perception, I'm behind the beat in this horse box. I'm not in gear for this situation. The elevator rises but stops somewhere around my neck. The top floor is empty. And that's when the creeps make themselves at home. The doubts, picture it. Dark box, horse, jolting ride, no visibility except for the small shafts that penetrate the oxygen slits high up around the horse's head. The horse race is the name under double gone, and I am. From the twin combination of alcohol and pills, when that thing moves, I can feel its breath. When it twitches, I imagine a whole network of muscles moving in sync beneath the smooth surface of his flanks. I'm beginning to think that I was there at the unveiling of creation, when the box lurches from a pothole, rises at an angle too sharp for me to accept, and then dips, hits, and lurches. Doublegun and me make plenty of noise and try and untangle our awkward confusion. He ain't on drugs, but he might as well be. He's got the fear worse than I do. All thoughts of Lizzie and Ralph have left the scene. This is about keeping the horse from spooking itself into murder. By the time we have the back door open for the guys up front to check on us, I've fed old Doublegun my last 3 tablets. There hasn't been an immediate reaction from him, but the act of being fed seems to have built a fragile bond between us. I'm talking to him slow and sweet when the door opens. It's Tommy, the asshole. No one dead? Not yet, but keep talking. Wise guy. I don't take it further. Tommy already has a lot of contenders after his scalp. Even by the standards of the circles I move around, Tommy has angles enough to die in his sleep at 32. It's just a matter of time. Piss off enough people, think you're above it all for long enough, and one peaceful night your sleep will be permanent. Dreams destroyed, interrupted by a half-dozen bullets. We live in a state of perpetual hope where Tommy is concerned. I would love to do it, but I don't kill for pleasure. His name appears on a contract and I'll ice him in a heartbeat. Until then, it's enough satisfaction to plan and wait. Tommy says they can probably manage to get me in the cab as Lizzie is no longer up front. She met a tin-foil fancy-ass car in the rendezvous spot. No one worries about the bottle of champagne she guzzled at the races. She'll drive back to Ralph and blow his horn like nothing ever happened. Jimmy probably tells himself it ain't the case, but guys like Ralph, landed, loaded and protected, don't put it with being neglected. I follow Tommy and his snake doing a shit walk up to the cab. The interior light shows up Jimmy, leaning slightly forwards, brow creased. How did the jolt affect Doublegun? He's fine, Jimmy. He was a real thoroughbred about it all. No problems. He's still got a long face, says Tommy, but no one laughs. And I wonder if Jimmy and me would have a whole lot to lose by just murdering him now and burying him somewhere off the Jersey Turnpike, even with the love potion and booze to mellow my soul. I want to skewer his heart. Fine, says Tommy. Have it your way. We hurt your feelings, not laughing at your little joke. I aim to goad him, but he just wants to drive and sulk in the dark. Passing lights illuminate his face now and then. Shadows win out at this stage of the day. When we finally reach Jimmy's place, the first fingers of daylight are crawling into view all along the endless horizon all around us. The soft brush strokes of orange and yellow will come later. For now, the early rising fingers of daylight are the colour of ice, and the association causes me to shiver. We all enter Jimmy's house and the bourbon he's riding different ice in cut glass crystal effect tumblers within seconds. Tommy smartmouths and brags his way through a succession of this pussy and that pussy, what, when and how he said this or that to, who he did this and that to, who should know better, who won't do it again, and who better be looking behind him. I'm not surprised. I've heard it all a score of times, and I'm always surprised that Jimmy seems to have patience for this shit. Maybe Tommy has a function for Jimmy that I know nothing about. Otherwise, I can't fathom reason number one for keeping this guy around the place. That's the end of part 1. Part 2 will follow directly after.